Did you like us dancing in the last one?
I loved it.
With the music.
It actually looked very natural.
It did, didn't it?
It did. You do very well. Very, very good work.
Thank you.
Yes.
Welcome, everyone, to the Rewired and Desired podcast, where intimacy, mindset, and disability intersect. I am Trina Ricketts, and I am joining you with my co-host,
Nicole Richards.
and we're not related. Our names are so
They
similar, last names are so
are.
similar.
Yeah. I get Nicole Richie sometimes.
Oh,
Like,
really?
oh, yeah, like Nicole Richards, Nicole Richie. And like,
I
yeah.
get I get Trina Rickards.
Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh,
And we both have ostomies,
I do.
and we're both coaches.
Coaches.
So
Coaches.
we're going to be coaching each other in the next couple of episodes, including today. I get to be the coach today. We're
I'm
gonna
actually I'm super excited about this because it's deep. It's deeply rooted and layered in my subconscious. So I'm
Mhm.
excited about this. Yeah.
Awesome. So my specialty is intimacy coaching, and a lot of that has to do with uh, especially people with disabilities will go long periods of time without intimacy because of our surgeries or because of insecurities or because of pain, sexual dysfunction, different reasons will prevent us from feeling safe enough or comfortable enough to engage in intimacy. Or sometimes we're just in a relationship with a partner who's lost interest, and we might think it's because of our disabilities, and then we internalize that, and that can create a barrier for people. But today we're going to find out what your intimacy challenge is, or challenges are, whatever that case may be.
Plural.
And I asked you like to not tell me about it until today so that everyone could see my immediate reaction. So I'm not coming in prepared.
hmm
And so let's hear from you. Tell us, give some background about what you want to talk about today.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you, Trina. I'm super excited to have this session with you and to okay, I don't know if I'm excited to publicize it, I'm actually like prepared to publicize it, right? Because
Okay.
I hope that, somebody else is who's in my similar struggle can gain something from it because I'm about to gain something from it. And yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess going back, right? I mean, I don't know how far you want me to go back, but intimacy's never really been the challenge. But yes, there's always been probably a self-worth challenge when it comes to some of the men I used to date, I would say, or the relationships I got into. They say you want marry someone like your father, right?
Hmm.
And my dad was abusive, and he was an alcoholic and a drug addict. And of course, I found someone just like my father.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I struggled with that for years, and I think that was really rooted around, self-image of how I was feeling inside, because I was taught that, as a child growing up, that that was normal, like to be in relationships like that. And
Hmm.
I've done a lot of healing since then. So
Hmm.
I know now that I don't deserve those type of relationships. I know that.
Hmm.
And I also have been living, as you all maybe know, or probably don't know, some of you may, I've been living a nomadic lifestyle since 2020. And in that nomadic lifestyle, I've kind of told myself, I'm not going to get into a serious relationship with anybody because um, I just, I'm moving a lot. I'm not in one place. I can't commit to anything. If I do, it's going to be short term and then I'm going to be gone, kind of thing. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons why intimacy hasn't, came about in my life. But then also, sure, I have an ostomy. Now, I've had it for many years, and I have had a boyfriend in that time. I had a boyfriend, a serious boyfriend at the time I had got my ostomy.
Okay.
I don't know if the ostomy played into what was going on, although there were still those self-esteem issue things going on, and he wasn't exactly emotionally stable either. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that. Um, since that time, living nomadically, I had a couple one night little flings
Mm-hmm.
in the desert when I lived in my van.
Ooh.
In my van. Um, but I I wrote them like I catfished them. Or no, not catfished. Wrong word. That's the wrong word. Ghosted them. I ghosted them. Sorry,
Mm.
I'm trying to keep up with this language
Me too.
of the times, we're in our 40s. Like, come on, you know? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I ghosted them. And not out of like shame, but like out of,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I just did, like, right? I just, whatever. So my newest challenge has arose that there's a man who is giving me attention and attention I have not had in many, many years.
Wow.
Right. Now, nothing has transpired. Luckily, he comes and goes from the area I'm at. And but it's very obvious he's trying to, you know,
Mm-hmm.
do it, right?
Yeah.
Just
Trying to get into maybe a potentially a little romantic fling with you, or
yes.
maybe date you. Who knows?
So here's where my self-worth issues are coming back up.
Okay.
He could have anybody he wanted
Mm-hmm.
because he's has a lot of money and is somewhat of a celebrity, not totally, but is it involved in the celebrity world very
Wow.
highly or pretty highly, from what from what I hear, a lot, right? What I know and what I've heard. So, not that I put that on a pedestal. That's not, actually don't care about that. And in fact, I'm kind of more turned off, I think, by that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really, when I first he first came into my awareness, it was what got to me was the way he treated my friend, was the way he um was very genuine, and did things. I saw him doing things for people that really melted, like took me here. So
Mm-hmm.
if I took that person, that same person, and took away all that other worldly stuff, it looked very meaningful. Like I'm a very
Mm-hmm.
meaningful person, which is something I need. I am a very spiritual person and I want to connect on a spiritual level. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's where I feel the most, like that's where I can be intimate on, is like knowing I have the spiritual connection. And I don't quite get that. Maybe on some levels, there's been some conversations that have, you know, but not to the depth that I'm envisioning, right? Over the years, I've been envisioning and kind of holding out for, like real like feeling, right? Like that just like we're talking about the universe and God and and just like really
Yeah.
connecting on that level.
I love that.
Um, but I think for him, it's more of a get it kind of thing. And then I question too, like, why me? Like, you have all these choices. Why me? And one thing that did come up because I did kind of say, I didn't say it that way to him, but I just said, you're I made it obvious, like, why,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there were comments made about that I'm real, that there's an energy,
Mm-hmm.
and that there's a feeling that he doesn't really understand to
Mm-hmm.
some level. So I'm confused. I'm confused because I'm mixed. Like I'm hearing this, but then there's also the voices in my head I'm hearing, but then
Mm-hmm.
I'm also seeing how he is, which is good, but then there's like I know there's been women over there.
Mm-hmm.
I know what's going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. And then the other background I should also tell you is like it's been years, like plural years for me. Years, plural.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that's a lot.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know.
Well, there was a time when I thought, how could anyone go years without sex? And then I've gone through that a couple times now, and I'm like, okay, now I know.
Yeah. It's it's actually it's difficult, but it's not that difficult
Hmm.
once you're kind of like used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it.
You
You get
do.
used to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so what I'm hearing is there's this really wonderful, charismatic, attractive man that you're attracted to who's paying
Hmm.
attention to you and saying really sweet things.
Hmm.
And but because he has these worldly like wealth
Yeah.
and prestige
Yes.
and that
Yes.
kind of thing, that is a turn off for you because
Hmm.
maybe because you think that someone who has those things wouldn't want to be with someone like you.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm hearing, why me? Why me? Why would he want to be
Right.
with me?
Right.
He could
Right.
sleep with anyone, he could be with anyone.
Right. And then I haven't even told him about the ostomy yet, you know? And
I'm
so
sorry for laughing. It's just that I've so been in this position. It's funny.
it
Um,
is, right?
yeah,
Right?
it is. Wow. That's okay. Yeah. You are really in the thick of it.
Yes. And I think the only saving grace right now is like I said, there's some distance right now.
Hmm.
And probably will be for a little while. But I know, in the next few weeks to a month, maybe even a month and a half, like the opportunity might be back, and then it's gonna be up for grabs at
Hmm.
that point.
Okay, so let's piece this out a little bit. Specifically, what about you would make you not good enough for him? So the ostomy bag, is that part of it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think because if I'm a 99% positive that he's probably never encountered that in his life.
It's very rare for
Right,
our generation.
right, right,
Hmm.
right. So that's the aesthetic piece of it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Are there other things that make you
Um, I would say that's obviously number one.
okay?
Two is like there is still some things with my osteo, like, or with from the accident, like my knee.
Hmm.
So there's just like, I'm not like limber. I'm not like limber and like the moves, might be a little awkward.
Okay, so there's
Thinking
some
about
like
that.
trepidation for the actual act of
Yeah.
engaging in physical intimacy that you might have some pain or some
Yes.
restricted movement
Right.
if you engage, and that you'd have to be like, not only do I have an ostomy
Yes.
bag, but
Yes.
I'm also very stiff and recently injured.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do I mean, I know we're breaking it down, but yes, like it's like I feel like I'm a 90-year-old woman here, living in a 45-year-old body. It's
Hmm.
reality, you
I
know?
think that what you're talking about is what probably like I would say at least 50%, if not the majority of people with ostomies or any kind of disability are having those concerns and those thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that includes people who like there's a lot of men out there who just they struggle with erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
And so they prevent themselves from being in relationships and think no one would want to be with me because of that.
Yeah.
And so it's in your case, it's the ostomy and the injury. And in everyone else's case, it's whatever it is for them. So first of
Right.
all, we recognize that this beautiful man who might already be having a love life with randoms. Um,
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, he may have his own insecurities, or he may
That's,
not.
I thought that maybe too. That did
Hmm.
cross my mind at some
Yeah,
point. Hmm.
because it's a gorgeous man with money. That means nothing when it comes to what he's like in the bedroom.
True.
And not to make any predictions, but in my experience, a lot of the most beautiful men try the least. And so you'll be like so attracted to them. And then you
Yeah.
get in the bedroom and they're not that good.
Yeah. Like,
So,
what's
so
that about?
I know, right? So that you never know. You could be disappointed. That's why I bring
Right.
that up. You could be disappointed by
That's true.
him, right?
That's true.
So let's just follow this through, like the whole thing through. Let's say that you tell him about your ostomy, you tell him about your injury, and then what? What would be ideal for you? If he was like, I don't care about any of that. Would you want just a little romance, or are you looking at him like maybe this could be my number one, my guy? Or
Hmm.
where are you like what would be your number one goal?
So I've been thinking about this a lot, like, and I've been going back and forth because the number one thing that really drives me to think that do I want to do this in the first place is how am I going to feel afterwards?
Okay. See, that's really
Because,
good for me to know. So yeah, keep going.
yeah, because I've been saying that if I've waited this long, why am I going to give it like give it up? And I don't want to say give it up so easily. It's not, but give it up to somebody who there might not be a potential for something. And it
Hmm.
doesn't have to be a long-term thing necessarily, but even just it's like maybe a trust thing.
Hmm.
Like obviously there's a lot of trust around men that I have in my life.
Hmm.
Although the last several men that have entered my life are um trustworthy men, but they're not, nothing's sexual with any of them. They're just men who have appeared in my life as father roles to take over that role that my father's not around for anymore.
Hmm.
Um, so there is that trust there, but this is not that. And so there's a big distinguishing mark of those men that are trying to do something with me,
Hmm.
or how can I trust that? And more or less now, if I were to give that up, and then on top of it, I have the ostomy, am I just going to be discarded the next day and
Okay.
not, because like
Mhm.
if there's no commitment there, then it doesn't
Okay.
feel good.
I do want to follow the other train of thought that let's say there was a commitment or whatever, but let's follow this one. Let's say you make love to this man, you're
Hmm.
strongly attracted to him, you're feeling a connection, you think you'd like to date him, and then afterwards he ghosts you, like what you did to the guys in the desert
Yes.
or whatever.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes. Oh yeah, karma's a bitch, for sure, for sure. For
Um,
sure.
I mean, not to get off topic, but I feel like as women, we worry less about that because we have guys ghost us so often that we think, oh, they don't care.
Yeah. Yeah,
But but they do. They
they
often
do.
really do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so let's say he does. He ghosts you like right after. You're worried about how that will make you feel. How would that make you feel?
Uh, That would make me feel really bad. Yeah.
Why? Why?
Um, because I gave something up that I've been holding out for to somebody who didn't deserve it then in the
Mm,
first place.
okay. I see. I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's follow the other possibility.
Hmm.
And then there's another possibility. Okay. So this
Okay.
possibility, you guys get caught up in your emotions and your attraction to each other, and he doesn't care about the bag, and he's fine
Yeah.
to work
Hmm.
within your limitations, and you make love, and the next morning he makes you breakfast, and he text messages you all day, and he has to go on another trip. But while
Yeah.
he's gone, he's thinking of you, and you have no idea if he's being faithful. You have no idea
Right.
if you can trust him because this is a
Right.
new relationship with
Yeah.
someone new.
Hmm.
Um, how do you feel? How does that make you feel? Do you feel like you would be suspicious all the time, or do you feel like you would choose to give him the trust until he proves that he can't trust you?
Yeah, the second I would give him the only because I've been in those situations as well where and that just doesn't feel good. That's
Hmm.
I mean, I'm even in a spot where in my life where I don't even I don't chase at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm not chasing, I'm not no.
Yeah.
Which is could be part of what's going on here too. I don't know, but
I thought you would say that because what I know of you in the time that we've known each other, you seem very level-headed and not the
mhm.
type that would be like catastrophizing and going
Now I
all
am.
psychotic, but
I was like 10 years ago, like,
yeah.
okay, but
Yeah, me
not
too.
anymore. Yeah. I can see that about us. Like it's makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
But that's you don't come out the other side unless you've been on the first side, right?
100%. Yeah. And that all came down to trusting people who
Mhm,
went back on their word.
mhm,
And as empaths, that you probably are, I know I am, we put our trust in people.
mhm,
And when that trust is broke, whoa, you know, but now
mhm,
I'm at that point, like if the trust is broke, I'll just walk away and be okay with it, you know?
mhm. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
That's
yeah.
good because
I mean, it would
honestly, that
hurt,
I
but
think, yeah, the hardest thing to do when we're feeling that kind of hurt is to not take it personally.
hmm
But that's kind of what we need to do because
right.
especially when someone cheats or betrays, it's
Yeah,
not about us. It's
yeah,
about the person who's doing the
right.
cheating or
For
betraying,
sure,
right?
for
So,
sure.
and in any new relationship, you won't know if that person is trustworthy in that way until they either prove that they aren't or prove that they are,
True,
one or the other, right? So
true.
that's a risk no matter who you
Yeah,
date, right?
yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
So following along that line, and
Hmm.
I like to do this because when you imagine worst case scenarios, it
Hmm.
helps you prepare and realize that it's not maybe as bad as you think it might be,
Yeah. No,
right?
that's a good idea. It's you're putting
Hmm.
it all the possibilities out there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you guys are dating and you're getting closer and you really like this guy, and then something suspicious happens and you think, I don't know if he's cheating or he's been with someone else, but my gut says he has.
Hmm.
Just a question, how would you handle that?
I honestly think that this person in particular is the person you'd have to go into knowing that that very well could be the issue.
Okay.
So I would say in this case, not that you should accept it, but I feel like there's are going to be relationships where it may just happen and you have to be okay with that.
Hmm.
I have, I have a hard time. There's obviously monogamous men out there,
Hmm.
but I just think for the most part, someone like him, and I don't want to classify, and I know that sounds judgy, but it's kind of reality.
It's
Like
common for people in Hollywood or in
in
who are celebrities.
status,
I think like just based on watching interviews and reading autobiographies and stuff that
yeah,
they're the first to say that it's really difficult
for sure.
to have a monogamous relationship in that when you're in that position or whatever.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
could see why you would make an assumption that it's potentially like just that's
gonna
gonna
happen.
could be the thing. Also, right, there are some who don't, so you never
Right.
know. But
Yeah, yeah.
okay, so what about, and there is a third way I still want to get to, but what
Okay.
about would you ever have like a somewhat open relationship where you would be together with someone, you're each other's number one, but if
And
while
it
your partner
arose.
is traveling or you are
Yeah,
on your van life doing on the
right,
road and you meet someone
right.
or
I
something like
don't know.
that, would you
I don't
be
know.
ever be okay with something like that? Just curious.
I don't know. I feel like I probably could be. Again, it's like knowing that, getting into it, and knowing what you're expecting. Probably. Um, but I say that now, and I feel like that could change, you
Yeah,
know?
for sure. I've been in an ethical non-monogamous relationship before, and I didn't know if it was going to upset me until
Yeah,
it happened, and then I could examine, so did this upset me?
right.
Yeah, and in my situation, it was okay. That wasn't the arrangement we had. We had a different kind of arrangement because there's so many different ways to have these ethical non-monogamous relationships.
Sure,
But the most important thing in those relationships is to have like such a really sweet, strong bond with the person that
sure.
that you trust them not to tell someone else they love them or to carry
Yeah,
on to
yeah.
complete relationships without being honest with each other. Um, you know,
Yes.
and so there it is. It's an option for some people. Just saying.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go in a different route. This is what I've been doing lately. It's kind of fun. You
Okay.
could do this,
Okay.
and then after that, I want to talk about living for today. So don't let me
Yeah.
forget that.
Perfect.
So let's say that you decide you want to pursue this attractive man or um, develop a friendship or see if there's any potential.
Hmm.
Uh, is there a possible world where you guys go out on dates but you don't have sex right away? Or is this more of a animal
I
attraction thing?
I don't see their right. So ideally that I would love that.
Hmm.
That's where I would that's ideally what I would want.
Hmm.
I know that's not what he wants. One.
Okay.
And two, the possibilities in the situation I'm in right now would make that very difficult. So
Okay.
and that might be part of why he knows that that's not even possible because it's virtually impossible. Um,
Okay.
but ideally that's the way I would want it to go.
Yeah. That
Because
does
that's
sound
what feels
hard.
right, you know? That feels right. It feels like, there's
Hmm.
something leading up to it and yeah.
It's pretty fun. Like for me, the reason I haven't been engaging in that kind of intimacy is because I'm still kind of a little bit tender in that area from my
Yeah.
proctectomy 2 years ago.
Right.
And but it is getting better.
Yeah.
But what has happened is I've become so like comfortable with not having penetrative sex.
Right,
And
right.
I've learned so many different ways to enjoy intimacy without it that
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
become like just not as prioritized for me.
Sure. Sure.
So then what I'm in a position where like I have a gentleman who's been we've been seeing each other and we've even gone on a holiday together,
Oh,
but we're
nice.
not doing it.
You know?
No, we're
Oh, that's
not
so
doing it.
good. I love
I
that
know.
though.
Yeah, but like we still like have lots of intimacy. I'm not saying
Sure.
we don't have intimacy, but just not
Right. Right.
that particular thing, right?
Hmm.
But so I kind of want to examine that a little bit with you if you don't feel like that's an option for you, but let's examine why is penetrative sex the thing that would make you feel bad about yourself if you gave it away?
Probably just that society has always told us that when you do that, like
Hmm.
I do. I think it comes down to something we've just always been told, and so it feels, it's weird because like that's kind of what I'm struggling with is like, how do you do it without being thought of as just a toy
Mm.
to somebody? But yet in your heart, you're like, well, it's what I want to do though. I'm in my 40s, like,
Hmm.
things are starting to go south. Like, enjoy it while you got it, kind of thing. Um, and because it's been so long, like, it's
Hmm.
like, well, this makes sense. Like, why not,
Hmm.
Um, but then there's that thing going, but you shouldn't because you waited this long and it's not the right thing to do. Why just give it up?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't want to diss your line of thinking or anything
Right.
because maybe if a person chooses and says that I don't want to give it to someone until it's someone special, I want to respect that. I absolutely want to
Right.
respect that.
Right.
But if it's coming from a place of shame, like societal shame,
Right.
then I want to challenge it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because I've told you, and I've said before that I've worked as an intimacy surrogate,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
means I've done a lot of like hugging and cuddling
Yeah.
and like wearing little, so there's lots of skin contact.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I have found what I've learned is that I have an incredible capacity for love inside me,
Mm.
and that I can form love and connection and bond with multiple different people, and it doesn't impact the feelings I have for a
Yeah.
significant other if I have one, which I
Sure.
have during that time. I was in a 9-year relationship while I was being an intimacy surrogate. So
Mm.
I do know that it doesn't impact the love I have in my relationship and that I could add more clients, intimacy
Yeah.
circuit clients, and I get to know them over years
Yeah.
because when they're comfortable with you, they want you.
Hmm.
And the love and the bond and all of it that grows. And I'm told all the time and hear all the time from
Hmm.
society
Yeah.
that when you give yourself emotionally or physically to someone else, that you're being depleted by them, or that each time someone
Hmm.
does that, they take something from you.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that's true based on my
Right.
experience. I
Right.
believe that we as humans have an infinite capacity for love and desire and connection. And that's why I think you do see these days a lot of these polyamorous couples and swingers and different things. And it's becoming more socially acceptable to
Yeah.
have ethically
Yeah.
non-monogamous relationships and stuff. And I think that's because people are beginning to realize that they can have deep connections with more than one person.
Sure.
Um, and the reason I bring this up is to try and dismantle this idea that there's only one person out there for us, or that we have to find the one person and
Hmm.
that's the only person we can find.
Hmm.
And having said that, that brings me to the living for today part that I wanted to discuss with you, because let's
Okay.
say that this attractive, beautiful man, you see him tomorrow or the next day, and he it's like, this is our opportunity. What do you say? Let's do this, you know? And you're like, I gotta tell you though, like, I have an ostomy, you know? And have you ever heard of that? And he's like, no, I haven't. What is that? And you're like, well, it's like it's a poop bag on my stomach. Like I had my intestine removed and like I mean, it's not a big deal and it won't get in the way or anything, but I just wanted to be, you
Yeah.
know, transparent with you
Transparent.
about that in
Yeah.
case it's something that upsets you. And I guarantee you he's not going to give a shit about it. And
Right.
then, and then
A
uh,
literal shit.
yeah, literally. And then you guys engage, let's say,
Mhm.
right? Or
Right.
let's say there's two ways you can go on that. You can say yes, let's do it and do
Hmm.
it. Or you
Hmm.
can say I'm not ready. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if you're the one. I don't know if like
Right.
I want to go there.
Yeah.
And then let's say you don't do it,
Right.
and then the day after that you get in another car accident.
Right. I know. Right.
I'm not saying that because I'm trying to say, you know, we should all just be promiscuous because we might die tomorrow.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
but I am
Right.
saying like if you've met someone and there's a connection and you haven't been intimate with someone in a long time, sometimes you need to like, you know, burst that bubble or rip off that band-aid
Yeah,
and
totally.
especially if
Totally.
it's someone that you're attracted to, that will make it way easier to do
Right.
because you're not thinking the whole time about whatever. You're actually caught up in the moment because you're
Right.
attracted to this person. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I've not that I thought of it that way, but you're right. But one thing that did cross my mind was the fact that it's interesting to see that like right now, whether I do it or don't do it, is the attention that I'm getting, which I haven't had in a long time. And coming from someone like him has actually boosted my self-confidence
Hmm.
in a way to make me think, you're right. Like, whether it's him or not, like, seize the day,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know, seize the day and whatever,
Hmm.
not like you said, not every opportunity, because there could be a million, um,
Yes.
but the ones that maybe feel right or
And
potential.
also, Nicole, you are absolutely stunning. You
Oh,
are a
thank
gorgeous woman. You are
you.
intelligent, funny, sweet, easygoing, laid back. You're not like a psycho bitch that
Not
like
anymore.
that guy better beware. Yeah, not anymore. But
Thank
like you have
you.
so much going for you, and if a man is attracted to you, it's like obviously, who
Yeah.
wouldn't be? That's
Yeah.
what I think
No.
when I look at you.
Oh, thank you.
So any like insecurities that you have about yourself is
Hmm.
really all in your head because everybody
Right.
else sees something amazing.
You
Um,
know,
yeah.
but and it's like it's weird because like I'm in a place where it's not so much like there's insecurities, but I honestly think it's around the fact that I wouldn't expected someone like that to come along
Hmm.
is what I'm is where I'm at. So it'd be different. Like I said, to strip away all that other crap, it'd be no big deal.
Yeah.
But you add on those layers,
Hmm.
that's what's making me question.
Yeah. Well, you imagine like, oh, he could be sleeping with this woman with a perfect stomach,
One,
no scars,
100%.
you know, butt lift, boob
All of
job,
it. All of it.
all of it. And so why would he want me like with my, you know, imperfect body that's been
Body,
through fucking hell and back?
100%.
Yeah. But the thing is it's not the body. Everyone thinks that like, and of course, men are turned on by gorgeous women's bodies. Let's like that would be a
Yeah.
lie if
Yeah.
we didn't admit that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not what they're attracted to. Like he told you, there's a connection,
Right.
there's a feeling, an energy or
Yeah.
whatever, and
Mhm.
you're feeling it too. So clearly it's reciprocal.
Right. Right.
Now, if this is the next thing I want to ask you to do, this is what I would tell a girlfriend. So,
Okay.
hopefully, people don't judge me as a coach. Um, Imagine if you were to be so confident that you had as high a regard for yourself as you think he has for himself.
Okay.
And what if you were going to use him for your needs?
Right.
What if this is a reframe and that you look at him like, wow, really great guy. I'd love to get in his pants and
Uh,
like see what could happen between us.
yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna let go of the outcome.
That feels way better.
Right? It does,
It
right?
does. No, it does. It does. It's actually that's more yeah, it switches the narrative for
It
sure.
does.
I mean, that's like it puts the power back into my hands.
And this is the thing. You have that power at
Right.
all times.
Right.
You have that power at all times to decide if you want to. You could even change your mind in the middle of it.
Right.
You could
Right.
change your mind at any time. You could decide, you know what? I do think that would be fun, but I think it would be even more fun to draw it out for another few months of flirting. And that would be your decision and based on what you want to experience and what makes you happy. And the
Hmm.
thing is if you turn it into I'm doing this for me, not for him,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
and
Wow.
I've missed intimacy.
Yeah.
I have needs. I would love to experience with him.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said, it might be really disappointing. You
Yeah.
know, it might like, right? Then often we'll like build someone up, but then when we're actually like start hanging
Hmm.
out with them or
Yeah.
making out with them, then we're like, oh, I don't like how he
Oh.
chokes me with
Yeah.
his tongue, or you know what I mean, or licks my whole face, or
Right?
like guys
Oh.
control those tongues, okay?
Hmm.
But I don't
That's
know.
so true. It's kind of like being selfish. Just be a little
Yeah.
selfish with it,
Yeah.
which makes
Well,
sense.
it's probably what
Well,
he's doing. Like, he's not thinking, I'm selfish, I'm going to try and get what I need. He's thinking, wow, she's hot. Wow, I'm really turned on by her. Wow, I'm really attracted to her. I'm going to flirt with her and maybe we see where things go. And you could be thinking the exact same thing and not putting like expectations on it. Because
yeah,
let's say he is amazing. Let's say you guys have an amazing relationship, but 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, something happens. And now you don't want to be together anymore.
yeah,
Like there's no guarantee that anyone you
right.
date is still
No,
going to be there in a week, a month,
that's
a
true.
year,
Yeah,
5 years, 10 years.
yeah.
And often that's what people are thinking. They're thinking,
Mm,
how can I know if this person will still be there for me way down the road? You
right.
can't know. You can
No,
never know.
no,
Even
that's
if they're
true.
super, super solid, trustworthy guys, you still will never know if
It's
you're going
true.
to have feelings for them in
Yeah,
a year or two
yeah,
years or 5 years.
yeah.
You know,
Wow.
you might get to know them and there's something about them that you don't respect about them. And
Right.
over time, that wears down your attraction to them. So
Yeah.
there's really just no, like, for me, the biggest um, reason a person should take their time with physical intimacy
Hmm.
is more to do with the character of the person. If you meet someone and you don't know them very well and you don't know what their character is like, I feel like that's when you're more likely going to feel regret later. Because, at least me, because then I'm like, oh God, that person didn't deserve to be with me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
ooh, I
Seriously.
can't believe I gave that person the privilege of
Right.
being with me.
Yeah.
And so determining a person's character, and
Hmm.
it sounds like you have determined that quite a bit by seeing how
Hmm.
great he is with this other person in your guys' lives that he obviously does lots of nice things for and must really
Yeah.
care about and show that side of him.
Yeah.
So you've got some indications of a good character so far.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, if I were you, if you don't know and you don't want to make a decision right away, I would watch for character traits.
Yeah.
I would watch for character traits. And beyond that, I would make a decision on what do I want for my body, my needs,
Yeah.
my mental health, my
Yeah.
excitement.
Yeah.
And maybe what you want and need isn't necessarily physical intimacy yet, although after all this time, I would be
It
surprised.
is.
But maybe
It
it's
is.
not. But if it wasn't, if it was, say, you just wanted to keep the flirtation going, I mean, that's fun. And that's,
Yeah. No, you're,
and sometimes that can
yeah.
go away once the
See,
act,
there's
right?
that too, right?
But,
Exactly. It is kind of fun. I
yeah,
haven't had
it
him,
is.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
But I will say that if you detach from the outcome, if you don't make him feel like you're putting all your eggs in his basket, then he has no reason to ghost you.
Yeah.
You could be the cute girl that he sees once in a while and flirts with a little more,
Hmm. Hmm.
and maybe something develops out of that, or maybe you guys have such an amazing time that you decide like, wow, let's like I want to keep this going. But
Yeah.
if you detach from the outcome, if you don't put all your eggs in one basket or the other, if you
Yeah.
look at it like this is just the beginning, that we're just getting our feet wet,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even know if this guy has a great character
Right.
necessarily. Well,
That's
I
true.
think
Yeah.
so, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
And give yourself time to get to know him and
Hmm.
um, see what you think. Like, but
Yeah.
that's like the guys will run and push you away and like be more likely to ghost you after an experience together.
Yeah.
Usually for one of two reasons. One, they feel like you're coming on too strong and they're like,
Hmm.
"Oh,
Yeah, which I haven't at all.
yeah,
Like I don't even
I
reach
can't
out.
even imagine you doing that." But
Well,
I think
I
that
don't. I
yeah,
don't reach out. He does to me. I don't him.
yeah. But let's say you're lying in his arms after your very first lovemaking session and you say something like, "Oh my God, can you imagine if we had babies together?"
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh,
I know you wouldn't, but like
hi. Yeah.
something like that could chase a guy away. The other thing is if they have another relationship and
Mm,
they are being unfaithful, or or they feel like they're being unfaithful because they
right.
have a bond with someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then they might be like give in to their animal attraction and then
Right.
feel guilty after and they'll
Got it.
ghost, right?
Got it.
Either way, you don't want
Right.
them.
Right.
If he
Unfortunately, you
ghosts.
had to go through it to find out, but
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. But he has to go through it to find out too. Just
Yeah.
like the guys in the desert.
Yeah. Oops, my bad.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging. But I'm just saying, like, so you could try to like, connect like that you didn't ghost those guys because of anything about them. It wasn't
No.
personal against them.
Right.
They didn't do anything that made you be like, fuck that, I'm gonna ghost these guys. It was just that
Yeah.
it was a fun time. You got what you wanted. They're reaching out. They probably just want to do it again. Who knows? But you're not
Right.
interested, so you're
Right.
not gonna
Right.
answer. Right?
Yeah.
And that's all it was about.
Hmm.
But when you're on the other end of it, you can take it personally. So we have to try to
Yeah.
always remember that when someone pushes us away or pulls away or ghosts us, it's not
Hmm.
about us. And it's not a
Yeah.
reflection of it. Unless we were assholes or something and we
Right.
deserve
Right.
it.
Right. Right.
But if
Right.
we don't deserve it and we didn't do anything, then we know that they're responsible for their own bullshit. And it has
Mm.
nothing to do with us.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, this is
Does
good.
any of this help?
No, yeah, I was just gonna like I think my real takeaway from this is the power is really in my hands. So I gotta flip the script into thinking that, you know, that him or anybody else controls the narrative.
No.
It's just like that thing, like where this is my story and this is my movie, right? And
Mm,
either you're gonna be a character in it or you're not. And I guess I get to choose that. Like I get
mm,
to say who's playing what role.
mhm.
And that's just another one of the roles that.
And when you enter into a scenario, let's say like a physical intimacy scenario with this gentleman or anyone else, if you go into it like we're two grown adults, we
Right.
consenting to some pleasure and some
Yeah. Yeah.
connection and some bonding, and let's just go
Yeah.
for it, that you're also giving that energy. So they're not they and that's a turn on, right?
See, and I do, and yes, and I can appreciate that, even though I've shied away from that over the years, but not,
Mhm.
but I do appreciate that. Like, and I can
Mhm.
see where I can be okay with that, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah. No, I do. Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense.
And
Yeah.
beyond that, like if you're not having a lot of intimacy in your life, have you ever thought about like getting like a TV buddy? Someone you could just cuddle and watch TV with or movies with?
I
Like,
mean, that would be so cool. That would be total. I would love that. I
yeah.
would
I
love
like to
that.
have those when I'm single.
Yeah. I have not had that in gosh, I don't even know when. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But a situation like that would be like you're friends with someone and you say, you know what? I don't want to have sex with you.
Right.
I but you're a really dear friend and
Yeah.
I miss cuddling. Do you want to cuddle and watch
Yeah.
a movie tonight?
Yeah.
No funny business.
Exactly.
And some people there are always going to be people who are that's okay with them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's they're lonely, they miss someone cuddling with them too, and they might wish that you do more, but they're just happy to get
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is good. This is good
Is
stuff.
it?
Wow, yes, I can see why you're good at what you do. You're just I like your approach. You look at it from like a just a really non-judgmental, place, and we need more of that. And
Yeah.
especially when we are in the situations with what we're going through with our bodies, And so um men or women, right?
Hmm.
We all need this, and when we have features that are we feel less desirable as humans, then we can also look at it like, but they also maybe have their own issues
Hmm.
that they're dealing with. And so, what makes mine any more of a problem than theirs, right?
If they like you with your clothes on, they'll like
Yeah,
you with your clothes off.
right.
It doesn't matter about the bag.
Yeah,
That's the most amazing thing I've learned.
yeah.
Like like just as a quick short story, I only got my ostomy bag 2 years ago, and I was doing intimacy surrogacy for like 8 years or something, or
Hmm.
at that point, like 6 years or something. And I was so scared that nobody would want to cuddle me after, and what if my bag farts, and all the worries that people have. And I didn't know if I would be able to keep doing that work. And shockingly, nobody cared. Nobody
Yeah.
cared. Everybody just cared about me and
Oh,
wanted to make sure I got through my surgery
yeah.
and don't even notice, don't even,
Yeah.
it doesn't even register. Like
Yeah.
it honestly doesn't register. Like I said, if they like you with your clothes on,
I
they'll
like
like you
that.
with your clothes off.
That's a
Uh,
good quote. That's a great
yeah,
quote.
right. And the other thing is like obviously because you make underwear and stuff, but like just fasting and if you
Hmm.
want to like if you want to just like make sure you're not going to have maybe too many bag noises or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And handling bag noises, that's
Right.
another thing. Like
Yeah.
there's so many different ways to handle it, but what I usually do is I just go, "Excuse me," and I put my hand over it so it
Hmm.
stops.
Yep. Yep.
I'll be like, "Boop."
Know that feeling.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Excuse
And then
me.
I just keep going as if it didn't happen. And
Yeah,
if we
I
both,
think
yeah.
that's that confidence piece. Like when you have that
Mhm.
confidence, it like that's so much more attractive than worrying and
Yeah.
running out. Yeah, the
Well,
room.
and the thing is even if you don't feel that confident, if you just do that anyway and make yourself do that and act like you're confident, that takes so much pressure off of them. Because the problem is when we're insecure, that makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They're worried, oh my God, what if I accidentally touch the bag? What if I do this?
Yeah.
Or, how can I make them feel better? Should I not look at them? Like
Right.
it creates so much tension. So even if you feel insecure, you should act like you're not. And if
Right.
something happens, act like it's no big deal.
Exactly.
Even if you feel kind of like it is, just act like it's not. Because you're doing your lover a favor.
Yeah.
by making no big deal about it. That
Right.
way they don't have to make it, they don't have to worry about it, and you can just keep going
Love
with
it.
whatever you're doing,
Love it.
But
Amazing.
you've been in a relationship already before, so
Yeah, yeah,
you've been
yeah.
through those
Yeah.
kinds of
Yeah.
situations.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, this was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. I can't wait. We'll have to get updates from you as the
Oh yeah.
podcast goes
No,
on.
we yes. I will. I will because this is an emerging situation, okay?
Hmm.
So
And
awesome. Well, next week we are going to talk about Trina
hmm
and the inability to let some tears out,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
I've been in my masculine. I think that's the way to say it. I feel like I've been in my masculine for a really long time, dealing with like one trauma and one life upheaval after another. And I've just feel very blocked from my emotions.
yeah,
And I know that's not healthy.
it's not healthy. We're
It's
going to
not.
talk about it. We're going to talk
Yes.
about it and we're going to put it on the table and I'll use my coaching skills to try to get some breakthroughs for Trina.
Yeah, I'd love that. I can't wait.
Amazing. All
All right.
right.
Have a great day.
Have a great day, y'all. That was awesome.